thank you all for coming to the spring reception for the Parliamentary Group on Energy Studies. I'm always grateful for you all coming. This group is one of the oldest in the House, and I think friends here who've been here a very long time know what we have achieved over many, many years. I was asked by Mark from Ofgem what our sort of modus operandi is, and he said it's quietly lobbying behind the scenes. Everything we do is under Chatham House, and what we try and do is to lobby government, opposition and all political parties into understanding energy and the complexities of energy, but also some of the challenges for the future. And I'm delighted that you're all here to be able to talk to each other. Now, we're not going to have a formal speaker tonight because I want everybody to be able to talk to each other. This is why you come, this is what it is about. We're going to get Oliver up in a little minute and to talk. But can I just say that we are now either 3 months from an election or probably 7 months from an election. So the time to influence the manifestos of the political parties is now. And we need to do that. I was asked, will there be a great change when Labour take over? It's a bit of a... the answer is no, I don't think so. Energy is something you don't tinker with in 4 years. Energy is something you deal with over a very, very long period. You just have to look at these screens to see what has been achieved by the gas grid and the hydro grid and everything else. And therefore, no, I don't think so. We've all signed up to net zero. We've all signed up to keto. We've all signed up to all these agreements. A lot of them were done under the last government, and that has not changed because the leeway we have to be able to do things is comparatively little, and we've got to do that. There are slight changes when you take Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, but they're not fundamentally different, and that is important to remember. And that is why I think PGS has a role to play in the next 6 to 7 months to make sure that we get that message to each of the parties. This is where you need to try and get to. And it is an open door, I can assure you. And I think that's one part of it. The second is net zero. We must achieve that. Not at the price of getting the lights going out, as in Germany and a few other countries where they said, oh, we can do this, shut down all the nuclear power stations and then have to buy civil nuclear from France. A bit ironic. But we are not going to do that. Energy security was put forward by Tony Blair 20 years ago. We stuck to that. Everybody stuck to it. It's what we agree. It has to be. But we can do this. But we've got to do it in a balanced way. Some of you may know I represent the Hinkley Point C power station, but also we're about to build this massive battery factory next door for JLR Land Rover Jag. I had no idea the power they're going to need just to produce these batteries. No idea. It is simply staggering. I asked them about it and they said, well, it's quite a big substation and we'll need to plug into Hinkley. I thought, well, there we go. It's not 7%, it's now about 4% because you're taking the other 2. But it is serious. If you build another 3 or 4 of these things, it is hugely expensive on energy. I've just been talking to Mark from Ofgem about President Biden's decision now not to do any more licenses. Will that have an effect on the the liquid gas coming across the Atlantic? Again, an answer we don't really know, and we'll find out. I suspect the answer will be no, because the Americans do like to make money, but you can never quite tell. And I think the last part is that we need to influence also MPs. Everybody sort of says we've got to influence the government, but every government depends on their MPs to get anything through. It doesn't matter which side you're on, it's irrelevant. And I always say to people, if you have your MP, and every single one of you in this room, unless you live outside the country, have an MP, speak to them, talk to them. I talk to EDF for the whole time, and I was just talking to them just now. And it is very important you influence your MP. It's just not about one form of energy, but about the whole energy sector. Most MPs know something about energy, but if you talk about the gas grid, it'll go blank, because nobody knows about the gas grid. Because it's there, it works. If you ask people about solar, they'll have a vague idea, but have no idea what it puts into the grid. Or wind. Certainly not nuclear. They don't quite know what that is, where it comes to and what it does. So it's important we influence. And that really is, I think, if I ask you to do anything, would you ring your MPs, write to them and say, can I come and have a chat to you? I am whatever I am, but I'd like to talk to you about energy. Not just your specific part of energy, but the overall mix, because it's absolutely crucial. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to introduce Oliver Lancaster, who is our guest of honour, and I'm very grateful, Oliver, to everything you've done, and thank you tonight, and also Chairman as well, which is IGEM, obviously, he's the CEO. I'm going to ask Oliver just to come up and say a few words, if you would, and then I'll just wrap up quickly, and then please we all get back to networking. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House again. May I hand over to Oliver, please? Thank you.